Okay, well, it's finally done. Let me show you the time. It is 8:53. Not bad. I set 4 hours and that's just under 4 hours. Okay, here's the plan. I want to build a TV stand using these lovely and long pieces of reclaimed wood that I picked up at the start of the year. I've actually had the idea to build a TV cabinet using plywood as far back as early last year. Now, I put this idea down on paper after watching Chris from Four Eyes Furniture build his own TV cabinet. Minor issues, I didn't have the tools to do the sliding doors, and shortly after this I decided that I would no longer build furniture from new materials anymore. So I waited. I actually saw many times where people were giving away free wood, but I don't drive, so it has to be local. Then luckily I came across these guys. So I'll go the original design, and I came with something that is so simple that I gave myself 4 hours to finish the build. That is including filming, tidying up, and mistakes. And I'll be putting timestamps along the way, so hopefully you find it useful. So first things first, the reclaimed wood was originally used as stud wall framing, which explains why they are over 2 meters long. Very cool. But as you can see here, they are not straight, so it doesn't really make for a good platform for the TV to sit on. Luckily I have this plywood left over from making either my desk or my sofa, I can't remember. But the point is, it is nice and flat, and there is just the right amount of wood here to make a top for the TV stand. This plywood piece is pretty much square, so I'm going to just cut it in half so each piece is about 40 centimeters wide. Here I am measuring away, then I don't know what happened. Whoops, forgot to press record. I either forgot to or messed up pressing record, but anyway, I just did a straight cut with my circular saw. These two narrow pieces will make a long tabletop at about 180 centimeters. I'm about to move on to cutting the reclaimed wood, but then I remembered I did a 15-degree chamfer for my desk. And I decided I wanted to do the same for my TV stand. This is a last-minute addition, and I did not plan for this to happen. Did it mess things up further down the line? Yes it did, but I was oblivious to it at this point. So why am I adding this? Well, because the reclaimed wood is quite boxy and chunky, so I thought to contrast that from the new wood, i.e. this plywood, I would give it some softness along the edges, at least on the front side where it is visible. Also, it's such an easy detail to add that it makes it look a bit more professional. Even though that's not really what I'm aiming for here, I just like the way it looks. Anyway, it looks nice. I have one last thing to do, and here is where my plan falls apart. This is now a good time to explain to you my plan for the TV stand. The fundamental construction is basically a table. It has a top and legs. I need extra horizontal supports because the top is made from 2 separate pieces, and I wanted an extra set of legs to make it a bit more interesting. What I want to show you though is this. On the left hand side of the TV stand, I want a 45-degree detail. Now, if I draw this from a top-down view, the front-facing edge, which I just added a last-minute 15-degree chamfer, is here, and this left edge should be 45 degrees. What is the issue, I hear you ask? Well, if the 15-degree chamfer isn't there, I could add the 45-degree on either the right side or the left side, and just flip it over because it's symmetrical. But with the 15-degree chamfer, now there's only one correct way of adding the 45-degree edge. Now, this is what I want, and this is what I ended up with. But this will all unfold later. I didn't film me cutting the 45 degrees, so here are some photos instead. It should be dinner time now, but I wanted to power through, so a quick break, then back to the rest of the build. Finally getting to these lovely reclaimed wood. Look at those nail holes. Anyway, time to bring out the mighty miter saw. It makes the cutting so much quicker. I'm flying through these compared to the circular saw earlier. Okay, it is raining, so I need to bring what I can inside and then do the rest of the legs quickly. let's get the rest of the legs cut. The good thing about not having a dedicated space for this is that everything is kept very clean. The downside, well, I mean, having to lift and squat heavy things could be a good thing too if you want the extra exercise. But no, this is not fun. Okay, so I've cut everything, brought all my tools in, I am so ready to get assembling so I can have dinner. Oh wait, I forgot about the 45° on these reclaimed wood supports. Never mind, out we go again. Luckily the rain seemed to have stopped. The beauty of British showers. So this was a Saturday night and I just noticed my next door neighbour has guests over and they're doing a barbecue outside. Now they must have been here earlier and they have either been hiding inside because of the rain or because of my noisy woodworking antics. Either way, they're literally just a few meters from me on the other side of this small wall here, so I didn't want to bring out my power tools again, which are very loud. So I decided to instead bring out my Japanese pool saw and do some hand sawing, which I do love every so often. Each of these actually only took me 5 minutes to do, but by the second one, let's just say I was considering my life choices on this lovely summery Saturday night. It is hard work, but nonetheless, not a bad cut though considering. Okay, let's get back inside and finish this. Remember earlier in the video where I put the 45° on the wrong side? Well, this is where I realised I messed up. But I was so hungry at this point that I decided to just line up the front edge correctly and to come back another day to fix the 45° edge. Spoiler alert, I actually corrected it in the next morning, so you'll be seeing the final finished build shortly. Here I'm drilling pilot holes, then screwing in some wood screws. You see me taking some time to change between the bits because I only have one drill and it doesn't have one of those quick change mechanism. Inconvenient, but it works.
Moment of truth.
Before I show you this, I did spend a bit more time after the 4 hours. As I mentioned before, I corrected my 15:45 situation the next morning, and then I also put on a finish a couple days later. I didn't realise I'd run out, so I had to wait until Monday when the shops are open to get some more. And the finish I used was polyurethane, so it does take 24 hours to dry. There are definitely fast drying finishes out there if you didn't want to wait that long. It's just that I haven't tried any other finish. That is, I think, everything else I've done, but actual time spent I would say is pretty close to 4 hours.
Moment of truth.
For some reason, I was very nervous about this not being able to hold enough weight. I mean, I really don't want my TV to come crashing down with it, but, you know, I just realised now as I'm doing the voiceover, like, why I was so unsure about it. Because this is the first design that is 100% me. I didn't follow a tutorial, I didn't tweak a design, I thought this up in my head, drew on paper, and built it. I mean, it feels great now. It's been over a month and it's strong as ever. But at the time, I was testing the hell out of it because I really wanted to make sure it wasn't going to fail on me. Let's talk storage. I didn't actually plan what would go underneath the stand, but somehow luck was on my side. I got these IKEA baskets, which I got for free, fit pretty perfectly underneath. And then there's this old wine box. It was as if it was made to fit in between these legs on the right here, like a glove. To be honest, as an afterthought, it all worked out pretty well. I did think maybe these would be temporary and I would build some wooden drawers or shelvings, but I actually kind of like this setup.